So because of the holiday, I'm taking a different approach. And what I want to do today is I want to talk about the idea that you are the light. And here's what I've come to understand, that each of us, all we are is energy vibrating at our own unique frequency. Do you really understand that? That the sum total of who you are is you are energy. You think it's form, but it's really energy. And that energy has a frequency because that's what energy has. And that frequency is a vibration. And that vibration, because energy is light and frequency is relational to light, then your uniqueness is going to generate a frequency that makes you a unique, whole, and perfect light. So when I'm talking about you are the light, that's what you are. Scientifically, you are a light. And so our frequency, the frequency at which that light operates, that's what makes us unique. That's the thing that gives us the joy. And you know, you can tell about that unique frequency. Walk into a room with a group of people and you will see certain frequencies that you just are attracted to, that are just lighting you up. There are bright lights in the room. There'll be other frequencies that we'll call darker lights or dim lights. And if you're attracted to the dim light, it's probably because your light is dim. If you're attracted to the medium light, your light is medium. If you're attracted to the bright light, there's something in you that wants that or is that, and you're attracted to that. A lot of times, we're attracted to the bright light because we understand that's really the basis of who we are, and we want to be around it. We may not be at that frequency, but we know that that frequency is part of us. And so the greatest discovery ever made was that we have the power to change our frequency. We have the power to change our frequency. Yes, we do. And when we change that frequency, as light beings, our light shifts. It was real interesting. Last night, I was watching a video with a spiritual teacher who I've watched many, many videos on, and I always saw this beautiful light, kind and loving and all of this. It was really magnificent. But in this video I was watching, there was the pre-startup. They were talking about the sound ready, is this ready, is that ready, before they actually got into the video. So they didn't start the video when it should. They started prior to and actually had pre-stuff that should have not been in the video. But watching that, I saw this individual with a completely different energy. And it was a darker energy. It was a much darker energy. It was a lower frequency. I'll use that word. But then when it came time to start the discussion with the other two people that were in this, it was like a switch and boom, the energy changed. And that's what I want to share, is that we all move from one frequency to another. But most of the time, we're not aware that we're moving. And here's the other point I want to make is, no matter who you are looking at, no matter who and how you're observing them, whether it's the Dalai Lama or it's a homeless person, they have frequencies that go the gamut. No one has a high frequency and maintains that frequency all the time, not in human form. In human form, we live in the contrast. It's part of the nature of being human. Contrast is it. See, the key to changing our frequency is to become more aware and focus on our power to become our greater self. What does that mean? It means to adjust your beliefs. And your beliefs are your thoughts, words, actions, and feelings aligned toward a specific result, held persistently and consistently, either consciously or unconsciously. And see, here's the thing. To maintain that high frequency, you have to persistently and consistently hold it. But what happens is we forget. We come back into the habit of not. And here's the other thing. We are influenced by the frequency of others around us. We're influenced by the news media. We're influenced by the television, by the YouTube videos, by the Facebook, by the other social media things. Those things have an influence, and they will affect our frequency if we're not aware of it. And when we're aware of it, we can spark out of it and shift and tune that frequency in to that which is what we desire to do. You see, our gift now and forever is our uniqueness. And to continually unfold, to be our greater self, to be our greater yet to be. That's it. Our gift is now and forever our uniqueness and the unfoldment of that into a greater level of awareness, which in turn means a greater experience of life. I don't know about you, but at this time we call Christmas, for whatever reason, this season opens our mind up to experiencing a higher or a greater connection with that which we are a part of, the allness, that sometimes we call God, sometimes we call infinite mind, sometimes we call spirit, universal intelligence, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. But I want you to reflect on a time, this time of year, when you felt a connection and you felt an emotion of love beyond anything that you've ever felt before. And as you recall that, who were you with? What was the situation? What were you doing? I recall a time, God, this is going back a lot of years ago, probably 25 years ago, or 30 years ago. And I remember taking a van, a minivan with the seats down and taken out, and the minivan was filled with gifts. And we took this minivan to Buckner's Children's Home here in Dallas for all of these children that were in foster care. And we never saw the kids, but the people came out, the adult workers came out, and they unloaded the van. And I remember this woman with tears in her eyes saying, "You don't know what this will mean to the children." And I just filled with emotion, and tears started coming down my eyes because we were giving. We would never see these children, but we knew we were touching their hearts. That feeling is alive with me right now, just as deeply as it was then. So I ask you, can you tap into that same feeling in your life? Can you feel that sense of unconditional love where you gave without expecting anything in return? That's what this Christmas time is all about. But in fact, folks, that's what every day should be about. You see, it's when we accept our uniqueness that we discover what it means to self-love. Do you see, self-love is our ability to accept ourselves just as we are. Right now, perfect. That's what self-love is. So you can take self-love and you can transpose and make self-accept. So if you can self-accept, that means you agree. You've embodied the idea that you're enough, that you're unique, and there is nothing missing. And you're not judging yourself against anyone else. But here's the key. When you can self-love, this means that you can accept the uniqueness of others, and then you can discover what it means to love them, to love your partner, to love your children, to love your parents, to love your friends, to love everyone that comes into your life. Because all it means is that you can look at them and you can accept them as they are, as unique and perfect expressions of light. You see, love is the highest frequency. It is the highest frequency because in love, there is no judgment. You see, judgment is the lowest frequency. Judgment is the darkness. Love is the light. And who you are is a light. How bright you are depends on how much you love yourself. The more we love, the brighter our light becomes. You, my friends, are the light of the world. The question I ask you today is, how are you going to light it up? How bright are you willing to be? How much of your light are you willing to share just by being you?